When MAGA Grandma turns down a pardon, saying it's the wrong thing to do, that they were all criminals, and it would be a dishonor to the name of law enforcement, she's a lot better than the person that occupies the Oval Office. We've got new reporting that Pam Hemphill, 71 years old, who served 60 days for her part in the attack on the Capitol, is not taking the pardon that Donald Trump gave because she knows in her heart of hearts that it's wrong and unpatriotic to do so. I'm Michael Popok. You're on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. Now, MAGA Grandma, the MAGA Granny, has been on the news a lot because she's repentant. She was before she went in for her 60 days. She was after she came out. Through therapy and other personal growth and development, she's realized that what she did that day was wrong, where she pushed open the doors. She walked past Capitol Police that told her to stop. She encouraged others to do it. She was motivated and weaponized by people like Alex Jones and the rest. And she basically has said, and let me just read to you from her statement. She pled guilty and served those 60 days in California to jail. She said she told us to the BBC, accepting a pardon would only insult the Capitol Police officers' rule of law and, of course, our nation. I mean, I'm going to support MAGA Grandma for president coming out of the Republican Party. That's more eloquent and courageous and appropriate than anything coming out of Trump's mouth. She goes on to say, I pleaded guilty because I was guilty, and accepting a pardon also would serve to contribute to their gaslighting and false narrative. We have to give her a show on the MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. Seriously. She's saying all the right things. You'd think we would have wrote that script. She was known as MAGA Granny because she was wearing she's an older woman that was wearing a hat. She said point blank that she's going to have her lawyer, Nate Silver, turn down the pardon. They're going to drop off a letter and tell Trump that. She said, we were wrong that day. We broke the law. There should be no pardons. And she went on to say that it's disgusting in prison. It's horrible. It's inhumane. It's a terrible thing. But certainly it's nothing that I am proud of, and it's something that I need to live with for the rest of my life. I mean, look, what we're watching is a series of elected officials, including Republican elected officials. We've got Republican senators and congresspeople that are saying, we're the law and order party. What are we doing? I'm worried about the security of the Capitol, Republican senators are saying. So when Donald Trump is shedding Republican senators and Republican congresspeople and the MAGA Grandma, and 60% of his base and of his voters that said, don't do this. Don't pander to some deep, dark, sub-base of MAGA and pardon the 1,600 who attacked the cradle of our democracy. We watched the videos. We saw the Capitol burn. We saw Donald Trump in his cowardice. And yet Donald Trump did it. There's a psychosis that we're watching for Donald Trump. And he's incapable of accepting responsibility. He's incapable of acknowledging this deep, dark day in our history. And, what I just read to you from the statements of the MAGA Granny, that should have been coming out of Donald Trump's mouth. Not the opposite, not this National Day of Reconciliation, dark chapter in our history and all this other stuff. Let me play you a clip from the MAGA Granny, just to reinforce what I'm talking about. Let's roll the clip.
That's the MAGA, I don't know how to explain it, but they have this way of demeaning you and putting you down. And that's what they've got going right now, is this huge gaslighting smear campaign going on, telling me that it was a peaceful protest. I was there. I was there when they pushed those gates and those officers, and when they stepped on my head. And it was an officer that saved my life that day. Biden is right on with everything he's saying. Trump is a dangerous, and I mean dangerous, narcissist. He's a cult leader. He needs to be put in prison. He's not any different than his friend what was that guy that just got, they're saying that he was killed himself in the prison. Epstein? Friends with Epstein? Trump is disgusting.
So that's the headline. MAGA Granny turns down pardon because she acknowledges that they're all guilty and it would sully the reputation of the Capitol Police. This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. With the arrival of my daughter, I implemented a new ritual to try this year. Get up at 6 a.m., take out the dog, work out, and then be ready for morning baby wake up and playtime with my daughter and wife. But with all this early morning activity, I need hydration, like fire hose hydration. Whatever you do, come into your own way, with extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. Powered by live hydroscience, Liquid IV helps you break the mold. And with flavors like their new Hydration Multiplier Sugar-Free Raspberry Lemonade, a bright zero sugar flavor combining notes of ripe, freshly picked raspberries and citrusy, zesty lemon. Every day in my family now is like a 10-mile hike up Mount Everest without oxygen. And for that, we need better hydration that only Liquid IV can provide. With Liquid IV, you get true-to-fruit flavors that keep you hydrated. Find all your favorite Hydration Multiplier flavors on their website, from acai berry and lemon lime to pina colada. Or choose from their line of sugar-free flavors like raspberry lemonade, white peach, and rainbow sherbet. Break the mold and own your ritual. Just one stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. And it's 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drink. And contains 8 essential vitamins and nutrients. Liquid IV is always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. Embrace your ritual with extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code LEGALAF at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code LEGALAF at liquidiv.com. We're starting to see what we've been calling for on the MeidasTouch network and on Legal AF for quite some time, and it's now starting to take hold, right? Clergy stepping forward, just like they did in the civil rights movement, and leading in the front and leading by example. National leaders taking on Donald Trump. Republicans breaking away from Donald Trump, and a tremendous amount of voter remorse setting in to the MAGA cause and those that voted for Donald Trump. We need to harness all of this, along with secular leadership, along with the public interest groups of the NAACP, the ACLU, the attorneys general around the country, and other public interest groups that are bringing the lawsuits that we've talked about. We need to harness all of this in order to punish Donald Trump for his overreaching, because he obviously misinterpreted the results of the election. You know, Democrats were so down in the dumps about it. It took us a while to figure out what happened there. But it wasn't the MAGification of the United States. It was just a tremendous amount of reactionary voting over 2 major things, right? The leftover tail of the economy that hadn't yet benefited the heart of America, even though by all normal metrics, the economy was roaring under Joe Biden. There were still aspects of it that were hurting the pocketbook and checkbooks of average Americans and daily Americans. I get that. And the sort of the forced way, we don't like to have candidates forced down our throat, even ones that could have been quite good. And so we didn't have a normal primary process in the Democratic system. We were sort of, here's your candidate, and you got 2 months to make up your mind. We don't like that. 200 years, 100 years of modern campaigning. We like a 1.5 year long campaign. We like a lot of primaries. We like to work out the bugs in the candidate, if you will, and then galvanize the party, back them, and go to victory. That's how Democrats are hardwired. Republicans likely too. Didn't have that. So that's what happened. That's what happened. It was reaction to that. Not a pro-MAGA, let's go. We've read Project 2025 cover to cover. We love everything about the Heritage Foundation. I mean, most of these people are waking up, and we've been doing hot takes on this in the MeidasTouch Network for quite some time. Most of these people are waking up with like tremendous buyers and voters remorse. He's doing what? He wants to do what? He changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America? He wants to spend money to acquire Panama Canal or Panama, take over Greenland and Panama. I mean, a lot of his people are just waking up like, that's the results of his Mideast policy, his foreign policy, his domestic policy. Yeah. Yes. Okay. And so MAGA Granny is just saying what we all think, that the pardons were an abomination. The pardons were obscene. The pardons sullied the name of law enforcement, stole their valor, just lifted his leg on our democracy. And, so my hero of the day is the MAGA Granny, Pam Hemphill, because through her words, she's teaching us something that our own president doesn't recognize: humility, grace, acceptance of responsibility, and what can come of all of that. We're going to continue to follow how we are individually and collectively responding to the overreaching of Donald Trump here together on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF. So until my next reporting, my next hot take, I got a new podcast called Popok Live, Tuesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on this YouTube channel, and then wherever you can get podcasts from. We're going to be launching that very, very soon. But every Tuesday night, we're there on YouTube. And then Legal AF, the YouTube channel. Come on over. Help us there. Hit the blue subscribe button. Help us grow that pro-democracy channel. So until my next reporting, I'm Michael Popok. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories, the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.